His mother clinked her glass, smiling smugly. See? Even an ordinary girl can get a chance at a better life if she waits long enough. Laughter filled the room. My fiancé squeezed my hand. My mom's humor is a little harsh. You'll get used to it. I thought it was just a joke, but months later, in my wedding dress, she looked me in the eye and said, "Ethan made a mistake. But you're still here, aren't you?" They all knew. They all covered for him. But they had no idea what was coming. The first time they humiliated me, I was too shocked to react. It was at Ethan's cousin's wedding, months before my own. A huge, over-the-top event in a private vineyard, the kind of place where even the napkins probably cost more than my rent. I had spent hours getting ready. Ethan always said his family cared about presentation, but the moment we arrived, I knew I had already lost. His mother looked me up and down, barely hiding her smirk. "Oh, honey, I wish you'd told me you didn't have anything appropriate to wear. I would have helped you find something classier." A few of the women stifled laughter behind their champagne glasses. His sister leaned in, pretending to fix my earring. "Next time, just ask me, okay? You don't want to stand out for the wrong reasons." "Ethan?" He just kissed my temple and muttered, "Just ignore them, babe. They don't mean anything by it." I ignored it. I ignored it when they sat me at the far end of the table, away from the family. I ignored it when one of Ethan's aunts asked if I was his assistant. I ignored it when his sister's friend giggled. "Oh my God, she's adorable." Like a little stray kitten Ethan decided to keep. I laughed along with them. What else was I supposed to do? But that night, in Ethan's sleek apartment, I finally snapped. "Why didn't you say anything?" My voice was shaking. He sighed, running a hand through his perfect, tousled hair. "Say what, babe? That my family is kind of elitist? That they're not the nicest people? You already know that." "Yeah, but they humiliated me. They treat me like some desperate charity case you picked up off the street." Ethan shrugged. "They just need time. You're different from what they expected." "What they expected?" My stomach twisted. He hesitated for a second too long. "You know, someone more like them." And just like that, I knew. I would never be enough. Not for them. Maybe not even for him. But I still stayed. I told myself that once I became his wife, things would change. I was wrong. The first time I realized I was nothing to them was at my own engagement party. The ballroom was packed with Ethan's family, his parents' friends, and a few of my own guests who looked painfully out of place. Everything was draped in gold and white, the kind of wealth that didn't have to announce itself. It just was. His mother clinked her glass, smiling at the crowd. "See? Even an ordinary girl can get a chance at a better life if she just waits long enough." Laughter rippled through the room. Ethan just squeezed my hand and whispered, "My mom's humor is a little harsh. You'll get used to it." Back then, I thought it was just a joke. But then there were other moments. Like the time I came over for dinner. Everyone else was eating steak. They served me plain chicken breast. No sides. His mother just smiled and said, "You're such a simple girl. This is healthier for you." Or the time it was his sister's birthday. The gifts? Prada bags, diamond bracelets, a Rolex. I had spent the last of my savings on a designer jewelry box. She unwrapped it, made a confused face, and said, "Oh, this is from a clearance sale, right?" I still felt embarrassed back then. But the worst part? Ethan never stood up for me. When his friend joked that I was a good deal because I wasn't picky and would be grateful for any engagement ring, Ethan just laughed along. When his mom conveniently forgot to invite me to a family dinner, he said, "Don't take it personally, she's just forgetful." And I stayed, because I believed that once I became his wife, things would change. That they would accept me. That they would love me. And then, on my wedding day, I found out the truth. They all knew about his affair. And not just knew. They planned to make me stay silent. The morning of my wedding, I woke up with a strange feeling in my chest. Not excitement. Not nerves. Something darker. Like my body knew something my mind hadn't caught up to yet. I sat in the bridal suite, wrapped in a silk robe, staring at my reflection. My hair was perfect. My makeup flawless. The designer dress hanging in the corner looked like something out of a fairy tale. It was everything I had dreamed of. Then why did I feel like I was walking into a trap? "You look beautiful." I turned to see my best friend, Mia, standing in the doorway. You don't sound happy about it. I tried to joke, but even I could hear the tension in my voice. Mia hesitated. She was never the type to sugarcoat things, but this time, she looked conflicted. Listen, she said carefully. Are you sure about this? About him? Mia. No, seriously. She sat next to me, her expression hard. Asterisk, I've kept my mouth shut for years. I saw the way they treated you terribly, and you kept saying it would get better. But it hasn't. And now you're about to marry into this family, and she exhaled sharply. I need to know that you're sure. I swallowed. Was I? Before I could answer, the door flew open. It was Ethan's sister, Melanie, looking effortlessly perfect in her maid of honor gown. Oh, good, she said, ignoring Mia completely. Mom wants to talk to you before the ceremony. It's important. Mia gave me a look, but I stood up anyway. I'll be right back, I told her. His mother was waiting in one of the private lounges, sipping champagne like it was just another day. Sit, she said, gesturing to the chair across from her. I sat. She studied me for a moment, then sighed, like this was an inconvenience to her. I'm going to be frank with you, she said. You've always been different from the women we expected for Ethan. But you've handled yourself well enough. Gee, thanks, I muttered. She ignored me. Marriage, she continued, isn't just about love. It's about practicality, stability, family image. I frowned. What are you getting at? She took another sip of champagne, then said it. The thing that shattered everything. Ethan made a mistake. It was a lapse in judgment, but it meant nothing. I went still. Excuse me? She sighed, like I was being unreasonable. The girl was a phase, a distraction. But she doesn't matter. What matters is keeping this family's reputation intact. I felt my pulse in my throat. How long? It ended months ago, she said smoothly. Before you even got engaged. A lie. I could tell. I felt sick. And you knew. My voice was barely a whisper. She looked at me like I was a child. Of course I knew. We all did. My stomach flipped. You're telling me every single one of you knew Ethan was being unfaithful to me, and no one thought to say anything? She tilted her head. Why would we? You're still here, aren't you? My breath caught. The casual cruelty of it. The absolute certainty that I would swallow this like I swallowed everything else. That I would smile. Walk down that aisle. Say I do like a good little wife. Something inside me snapped. I stood up so fast my chair scraped against the floor. Her eyes widened. Sit down. No. She set down her glass, her expression tightening. You're overreacting. Overreacting. I laughed, sharp and humorless. Your son was unfaithful to me, your whole family covered for him, and you think I should just go through with this wedding like nothing happened? It was a mistake, she repeated, standing up too. Do you really want to throw away everything over one stupid mistake? I stared at her. She actually thought I was weak enough to go through with it. She actually thought I would rather be humiliated in silence than stand up for myself. Not this time. I turned for the door. Where are you going? To fix my mistake. Her voice sharpened. You will not humiliate this family. I turned back, smiling sweetly. Oh, don't worry. I picked up the bottle of champagne from the table. The only one getting humiliated today is Ethan. And then I walked out. I stormed back into the bridal suite, heart pounding. Mia stood up immediately. What happened? He was unfaithful to me. My voice came out steady. His whole family knew. Mia's face darkened. That jerk. I grabbed my wedding dress off the hanger. Not to put it on. To rip it apart. Mia grabbed my hands. Wait. I looked at her. If you walk out now, they win, she said. They'll spin this however they want. Make it look like you were unstable, like you got cold feet. But if you want to destroy him? If you want to take them down? Her lips curled into a dangerous smile. You have to do it right. I took a shaky breath. What are you thinking? Mia's grin widened. We're not canceling this wedding, babe. We're turning it into a funeral. The ballroom was perfect. Crystal chandeliers, floor-to-ceiling floral arrangements, a live string quartet playing something elegant. Hundreds of guests sipping champagne, waiting for the ceremony to start. Ethan stood at the altar, all charm and confidence in his custom tuxedo, chatting with his groomsmen like he hadn't just been exposed as a lying, cheating fool. Like he actually believed I was still going to marry him. "Oh, Ethan. Bless your heart." Mia smoothed out my dress, adjusting my veil. "You ready?" I grinned. I was born ready. The doors swung open. Every head turned as I stepped into the room. A hush fell over the crowd, the kind that only happens when something isn't quite right, but no one wants to say it out loud. I took my time walking down that aisle, soaking in every wide-eyed stare. Every fake smile starting to twitch. Every uncomfortable shift. Ethan's grin was bright and oblivious until I stopped walking. Right before I reached him, the whispers started. He frowned, stepping forward. "Babe?" I held up a hand. "Don't." The room went dead silent. Ethan's mother, perched in the front row, was already looking at me like she knew what was coming. Like she was calculating how fast she could spin this into a lie. I smiled at her. Then I turned to the guests. "Thank you all for coming," I said, my voice carrying through the ballroom. "Truly, this has been a long time coming, and I know you've all been looking forward to this day almost as much as I have." Ethan laughed nervously. "Babe, what are you doing?" I ignored him. "Marriage is built on trust," I continued, scanning the crowd. "On honesty. On knowing that the person standing beside you will always have your back." Murmurs spread. Ethan shifted beside me, reaching for my hand. "Okay, babe, let's just..." I stepped out of reach. Which is why I said sweetly, "I think it's only fair that everyone here knows exactly what kind of man Ethan really is." Gasps. Ethan's face drained of color. "What the heck are you talking about?" I turned to him, still smiling. "You know, love, it's funny. I had this tiny feeling, right? This little voice telling me something was off. And then your mom, bless her heart, decided to confirm it for me." I turned back to the guests. "Ethan has been cheating on me. For months. Maybe even years. And his whole family? They knew. They covered for him. Because, apparently, keeping up appearances is more important than a little thing like loyalty." Dead silence. Then, "Oh my God. Are you serious?" "No freaking way." Ethan's father stood up. "Now, hold on just a minute." I held up my hand again. No. You hold on. You've all had your turn to speak. Now it's mine." Ethan's mother's jaw clenched. "This is childish. Sit down, and we can discuss this like adults." "Oh, I am an adult," I said lightly. "That's why I'm not marrying your son." Ethan grabbed my wrist. "You're making a mistake." I yanked my arm free. "No, Ethan. You did." Over and over again. And then, with all the grace and poise I had faked for years, I picked up a glass of champagne from the nearest table and threw it in his face. The room exploded. People gasping, standing, whispering. Ethan stumbled back, dripping, his face twisted with shock. "Are you crazy?" "Crazy?" I laughed, tossing the empty glass aside. "No. Just finally awake." His mother let out a horrified shriek. His father buried his face in his hands. His sister pulled out her phone, no doubt texting the entire country club. And then, the best part. The doors flew open. And in walked her. The side chick. She was everything I expected. Tall. Model thin. Perfect hair, perfect lips, a dress that probably cost more than my car. The kind of woman his family would have actually approved of. The irony made me want to laugh. "What the heck is she doing here?" Ethan hissed. I smirked. "Oh, didn't you hear? I invited her." Mia beamed from the back of the room, holding up her phone. It was easy, really. A little social media stalking, a quick DM, and boom. She was more than happy to show up. The girl folded her arms, glaring at Ethan. "So this is why you ghosted me?" The guests were loving this. Ethan's mother looked like she was about to faint. "This is ridiculous," Ethan sputtered. "You planned this?" I smiled sweetly. "Of course I did. I couldn't let you get away without a proper send-off." The girl scoffed, tossing her hair over her shoulder. "Wow, you told me you were single." Gasps. Ethan's mouth opened and closed. But she wasn't done. "You said you were trapped in a relationship with some clingy, boring girl who wouldn't let you go." The crowd erupted. Ethan paled. "That's not." I turned to the guests. Well, I suppose that settles it. Then I took off my engagement ring, held it up for everyone to see, and dropped it on the floor. It landed with a tiny, perfect clink. I turned on my heel, lifted my dress, and walked straight out of that ballroom. But not before I heard the beautiful, beautiful sound of Ethan's mother screaming, "Get back here and fix this." I grinned. I had just burned their perfect world to the ground. And I had never felt more alive. The moment I stepped out of that ballroom, a weight I didn't even know I was carrying lifted off my chest. I had spent years shrinking myself to fit into their world, smiling when they mocked me, swallowing my pride when they treated me like an outsider, nodding along, convincing myself that if I just held on a little longer, they would accept me. I was done waiting. And judging by the chaos erupting behind me, they were just starting to realize it. Mia was already outside, holding the car door open. "Get in, queen. We have a victory lap to take." I yanked off my veil, kicked off my heels, and slid into the passenger seat. The second the door shut, I let out a breathless laugh. "Holy heck, did that just happen?" Mia grinned. "Oh, it happened. And you were a freaking legend." As she sped out of the venue, my phone exploded with notifications. Messages, missed calls, voicemails, all from Ethan. "Where the heck are you? Come back right now. We can fix this. You're being dramatic. Don't ruin both our lives over one mistake." I rolled my eyes and blocked his number. A minute later, my phone buzzed again. "Ethan's mom. You need to come back immediately. This is unacceptable. Do you have any idea what you've done to our family's reputation? You're being incredibly selfish. We welcomed you into our world, and this is how you repay us." I laughed. "Mia, guess what? I'm selfish now." She snorted. "About time. You deserve an award." I blocked his mom, too. Another buzz. This time, from Ethan's sister. "Okay, I know you hate us right now, but holy heck, that was iconic." Mom's losing her mind. Ethan is crying. Like actual tears. Dad left to reconsider his will. "I shouldn't say this, but I always kind of liked you. Can I still follow you on Instagram?" Mia glanced over. What does she want? I showed her the messages. Mia cackled. "Oh, now they like you? Ain't that convenient?" I ignored the messages and turned my phone off completely. For the first time in years, I didn't owe them a single freaking thing. We stopped at a gas station where Mia bought me an energy drink and a bag of spicy chips, the true food of champions. "So what now?" she asked, tossing me a pair of sunglasses. I sighed. "I don't know. I spent so much time trying to survive that wedding, I didn't really think about what came after." Mia bit into her chip, then suddenly froze. Babe?" I frowned. "What?" She turned her phone toward me. "You might want to see this." The second I saw the screen, my stomach dropped. A video. A high-quality, perfectly angled video of my wedding day mic drop moment. Over 2 million views. Title: Bride exposes groom in front of everyone plus throws drink in his face. She ate him up, OMG. The comment section was absolutely unhinged. She's a national hero. Not all heroes wear capes, some wear wedding dresses and a revenge smirk. This woman woke up and chose chaos, and I respect her for that. Ethan crying in the background is my Roman Empire. I scrolled further. Ethan's side chick had commented, "Ladies, always check the DM requests. This could be one day." I choked on my drink. Oh my god. Mia was losing her mind. "Girl, you're a freaking legend." I turned my phone back on just for fun. It was worse than I expected. Ethan's mom had left at least 10 voicemails. I played the first one on speaker. "You manipulative little liar." Click. Mia cackled. "Wow." She didn't even finish the sentence. The next one was more desperate. "This isn't funny. Do you have any idea how many people are talking about this? The board members, the investors." Click. I skipped to the most recent. "Listen to me, you ungrateful." Click. I smirked. "They're in shambles." Mia nodded solemnly. "I love that for you." Just when I thought I had seen everything, another text came in. From Ethan's dad. I nearly ignored it, but curiosity got the better of me. I should have stopped this wedding before it started. "I knew my son didn't deserve you. For what it's worth, I'm sorry." I blinked. Mia peered over my shoulder. "Well, dang. That's unexpected. I shrugged and tossed my phone aside. Too little, too late. She nodded. Exactly. Now let's go celebrate your freedom. And with that, she hit the gas, blasting my favorite revenge anthem as we drove off into my brand new life. No fiancé. No in-laws. No regrets. Final update, I was sipping an iced latte on the balcony of my new apartment when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I already knew who it was. I let it ring out, taking another slow sip of my coffee. A few seconds later, a voicemail popped up. Hey, it's me. Ethan. I rolled my eyes. I don't know if you'll ever listen to this, but I need to talk to you. His voice sounded tired. You ruined my life, you know that? My job, my reputation, my family. I snorted. Oh, Ethan. Sweet, clueless Ethan. I didn't ruin his life. He did that all by himself. In the 12 months since I walked out of that wedding, my life had completely transformed. I moved into my own apartment, a bright, airy space with zero memories of Ethan or his awful family. I started traveling, doing things for me instead of trying to fit into someone else's world. And thanks to the absolutely unhinged level of internet fame from my wedding video, I had opportunities one never would have imagined. Podcasts, interviews, even a book deal. Mia called it my villain origin story. I called it finally living my freaking life. Ethan's life, on the other hand, a complete dumpster fire. His family lost investors because of the scandal. His father nearly disowned him. His mother? Well, let's just say she wasn't getting invited to charity galas anymore. And Ethan himself? Last I heard, he was working at a different real estate firm, one without his father's name to protect him. He had a new girlfriend, of course. Blonde. Rich. Exactly the kind of girl his family had wanted him to marry. But according to Melanie, his sister, the relationship was already falling apart. He's miserable, she texted me a few months ago. Mom still won't talk to him. Dad doesn't respect him. And his new girlfriend? Total nightmare. She sent another text right after. Not that I'm defending him, but you really did a number on him. Kinda iconic, honestly. I laughed. Iconic indeed. One afternoon, I was at my favorite bookstore, flipping through a novel, when I felt someone staring at me. I turned my head. And there he was. Ethan. His hair was slightly messy, his suit not as crisp as I remembered. There were dark circles under his eyes, like he hadn't slept well in months. For a second, neither of us moved. Then he walked toward me. Hey, he said. I raised an eyebrow. Hey. He rubbed the back of his neck. You, look good. I did. Glowing, actually. Thanks, I said. You look. I tilted my head, pretending to think. Surprisingly alive. He huffed a laugh. I deserved that. Yep. He exhaled. Look, I wanted to say I'm sorry. For everything. I just stared at him. Because now that I was finally happy, he wanted to apologize? I sipped my coffee. Cool. He blinked. That's it. What else do you want? I shrugged. Forgiveness? A second chance? A dramatic speech about how I miss you. He looked away. I don't know. I smiled. Well, now you do. I turned back to my book. Take care, Ethan. And just like that, I walked away. For real this time. A week later, I was sitting on my balcony again, watching the sunset when Mia called. Okay, hear me out, she said. You should do a TED Talk. I laughed. On what? On how to be a freaking legend. I shook my head, smiling. I didn't need a TED Talk. I didn't need revenge anymore. Because I had something better. A life that was mine. And I was just getting started.